Hey guys, what's up? This is David from ConMenRDW here, and we are talking about Paper Mario, the Origami King. I'm here with my homies from the Break Room Arcade, Brandon and Logan,
Hello.
and awesome, amazing Nintendo fam. And Nintendo shouldn't have did this to us this morning, in the way that they just be shadow dropping stuff, bro.
I had quite the reaction.
I literally woke up probably 2 minutes before they dropped this, and I was just very half asleeply looking at my iPad on my bed, low brightness, no lights on in my room, and then I get the notification, and I'm still half asleep, so I'm like, wait, was this just like a recommended like Paper Mario thing that people are fan making? And I look at it, I click the link, and then it goes to Nintendo's official page. I'm like, then I shoot up out of my bed. Aisha's next to me, and she's like, "What? What?" And I'm like, "I have to record something." And then I just like, I gotta do this. And she's like, "What is it?" I'm like, "Paper Mario has a new game coming out." And then she's just like, "Oh snap!" So
Yeah, I saw no less than like 10 Twitter posts about this before it hit me that this wasn't just some uh fan mock-up of the next
mm-hmm.
like Paper Mario game. Like this is actually real. And at that point I promptly like my body like physically reacted. Like I was lying in bed, I was staring at Twitter, and all of a sudden I like gasped and I like shot up out of bed and I go, no way. And then I booted it up and I was like, I was watching the trailer and I was like, I can't believe this is real. And I have so many feelings now.
Brandon, I'm assuming you woke up after us, because today was just an interesting morning for everybody. So it's either you woke up and you saw this drop, or you woke up, saw people talking about it, didn't know what happened, and then you proceeded to watch the trailer. I'm
So this is
assuming
what
that was
happened.
happening to you. Yeah.
This is what happened. I woke up to like four different text conversations, and I didn't check any of them. Like
Hmm.
my eyes had just opened because my wife busted into the room saying, "There's a cool Nintendo thing you need to look at right now." And I said, "Okay." So I pulled up YouTube and I started scrolling down and I saw Paper Mario and I said, "No, not today."
No. No.
I didn't even make it as far as the Nintendo official upload. I found the Game Explain upload of the trailer and I was like, this is fine, and I clicked it.
Hmm.
And then I had my mind blown for the next 2 minutes and
Yeah.
17 seconds.
It was, yeah. Game Explain works very fast. Can we talk about that really quick? Game Explain does their job probably the best out of most people on the internet. Like, the trailer drops,
Sure.
30 seconds later, they redrop it. And then within 2 hours, they have a whole 50 things you didn't notice in the Paper Mario Origami King trailer video up. And then they have a
Eh,
discussion video all within 2 hours.
Yeah,
They
it was
they
very
they do
quick.
it. They be on it. They pro. I'm assuming because like I think I don't know what time zone they live in, but I'm assuming some of them had to jolt the other ones out of sleep and be like, "We have to work now." So
Yeah,
that's
they're
just a
spread
very
out all over
funny
the world.
visual to me to think about. But yeah, Nintendo YouTube has been very bustling this morning, all because of Paper Mario. So we're gonna have our time to shine now. We're gonna gush about this and how amazing this is, and also why some people are kind of nervous about this at the same time. So first off, let's just go through this trailer, this 2 minutes, and just discuss what things are happening. So first off, graphically, this game is delicious. This is the Color Splash engine on the Switch. This is literally what everyone wanted to happen with another Paper Mario game. I
Well,
didn't,
actually,
yeah.
I'll push back on that because
Okay.
I've seen some people complaining about the fact that like, oh, why does everything have to be paper? Like they want things to go back to like Thousand Year Door, like Super Paper Mario when everything didn't explicitly look like it was paper, which
Hmm.
I thought was like the oddest complaint of like all the things to complain about with this trailer. That's the thing
Oh, they
that you
want it to be
choose.
like digital sprite Mario
Yeah,
instead.
because like okay, I've had my issues with the last few games, but one of them was not, "Oh, I can't believe Color Splash looks like it's made of more paper."
Hmm.
Like
Imagine complaining about one of the best looking games on the Wii U.
Seriously.
yeah.
But yeah, like that was like my first takeaway. This game is breathtaking, Keanu Reeves said. But like, so we start off. We have a Origami Princess Peach. First off, we don't even know if this is actually Princess Peach to begin with. It might be, it might not be. But she's basically, we have Mario standing in the middle of the very beautiful paper crafted Princess Peach's castle. I didn't play a lot of Color Splash. Did we see inside of Princess Peach's castle in Color Splash?
Not that I recall. That
Okay.
took place in a different like kingdom.
Okay, so this is completely from scratch then. So
Yeah.
either way, this looks delicious. Like going off of how Princess Peach's castles looked in like Paper Mario 1, this is insane. This looks very good. We have like the token sun pattern in the middle of the room, this checkered board floor, the two different staircases, and then there's like these chandelier. There's like these chandeliers or like these things holding up candles, and they're like metallic. This is really good metal graphics. Like I was just looking at that throughout that whole part of the trailer. I was like, this metal looks very good. Like, so we have Origami Princess Peach telling Mario, crease yourself and be reborn like me. And you have the option to say yes or no. They say no in the trailer. And then they're just like, it doesn't matter what you say. Nothing that you say matters. And then the floor opens and then Mario falls through. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. They just killed Mario. GG, end of game. But
A lot
then
of cool stuff happening here in
Yeah.
this first shot I want to talk about.
yes.
Not only is it beautiful, like you said, but also like they retained the majority of the original layout from Peach's Castle in 64,
Mm-hmm.
or Paper Mario 64, and I appreciate that. But also, have either of you beaten the 1,000-Year Door?
I
I don't think I never beat it. I got like probably
I'm-
3/4 of the way through.
It's funny because Brandon, recently I went back and was trying to finish this game, and I'm currently on the final boss that I'm just like I grew frustrated with. But like that's where I'm at with that game.
Mind if I lightly spoil some things then?
I don't mind.
Sure.
Okay, so in the final boss fight of the 1,000-Year Door, you fight Princess Peach, and she gives you the option to fight alongside of her with a yes or no question, and if you agree, you get a game over. And I thought it was neat that they're kind of referencing that
Oh, that's
in this
cool.
trailer.
Oh,
Yeah.
see, that
That's
wasn't
a
even a
pull.
spoiler for me because I'm pretty sure that like I screwed that up the first time.
That's dope. Okay, I didn't even know that. That's a really cool
Yeah.
reference. I don't even think I don't know. I didn't watch the video, but I don't know if they called that out. But that's cool. That's a cool pull.
So maybe that's a game over in this.
You just get to
In
see
this situation
Origami
too?
Mario. That'd be kind of cool. You just see
Yeah,
Mario
no, I
fold
think
into
this is
paper
another game
craft.
over.
That'd be dope. I was thinking what would
Beautiful.
happen if you actually say yes, but yeah, that'd be really cool.
Her response makes it sound like she's gonna drop you anyway, but you never
Yeah.
know.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that was that. That's all you had to say about that?
Yeah.
Cool. But yeah, Mario falls through the ground. Then we just start getting bombarded with like a whole bunch of different flash shots of like a whole bunch of sequences in the game. So I guess we cut to what I'm assuming is maybe Bowser's castle getting overran by the origami people. We have like origami shy guys busting down a door in his castle. We have a Koopa Troopa and a Hammer Bro. Bowser is folded into like a rectangular paper stand, and he is being held up by a rope that has like a paper clip on it, and he's just being held up by that. And he's just watching, I guess, his minions get turned into paper crafts against his will. So that's pretty dark. Bowser's like got overrun at the beginning of the game. And then
I wouldn't actually be surprised if this entire sequence takes place in Peach's castle, because if you ask me, the opening of this game is going to be Bowser attempting to kidnap Peach, and all of this happens before he gets that far.
okay. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that's a good take on that.
But I
Like,
mean, that's
he just-
also a very Paper Mario of
Mhm.
like Bowser to be coming in and being like, yeah, you're kind of a secondary character. You don't really matter all that
Mhm.
much. You might even be like an ally, in certain
Yeah.
situations.
I love how the Paper Mario franchise has, or like at least the Mario RPG franchise has just been like, yeah, Bowser is in the regular games, he's the villain, but in the RPG world, he's just an accessory to bigger crimes. Like he is literally nothing compared to this Origami King figure.
He's like especially in Thousand Year Door, he's more of like Team Rocket, Jesse and
Yeah,
James.
basically. He's just a comedic hindrance.
So there's actually another reference here that I want to point out quick. This one I didn't realize on my own. I saw this on Twitter. That Shy Guy that comes flying in on the Koopa Clown car.
Okay.
The same thing happens in Super Mario RPG, where the Shy Guy flies in on the clown car to save Bowser.
Interesting. Okay.
So he's back.
So they're just okay. I like that Nintendo is referencing a lot of their older titles, a lot of their other RPG roots too. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. So then we get those flash shots of Bowser being forced to watch his minions get turned into origami people, and then we have a yellow Shy Guy that just forms itself into the antagonist of this game, who is called, let's see, I'm looking on the website. What
Ollie?
is his name? Ollie? Yeah, that's a really weird name. I did not expect that. King Ollie, yeah. Okay, Ollie. Sure.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's because, like, Ori would be Ollie or Ori.
Like
So that-
origamis, then it's like Ollie in
Yeah.
America. Probably. Yeah, it's probably like a English translation thing that is just a weird
That's literally the only connection I could even make.
I could see that, yeah. And then they say an origami plot unfolds. Zing. Okay. And then
Zing.
we get to see a big wide shot of these ribbons, what it looks like, of all sorts of different colors coming in over the mountainside. And we get a really nice shot over what is this game's Toad Town, which if you remember Paper Mario 1, where we got to see the Toad Town that leads up to Princess Peach's castle. This is a very nice interpretation of that. Like, we have a whole bunch of shops, some houses, looks like a town square going on. There's like a port. Princess Peach's castle is super fortified in this game because there's a whole moat. There's like a big castle wall, exterior of the castle, and then the castle's in the middle. Then there's a moat in the moat. So there's
It's
a lot.
funny to
There's
me
a lot
because,
happening
like,
here.
the defensive measures here don't really protect Peach's castle from what happened to it in the first Paper Mario, where it got lifted out of the ground. That's still a possibility here.
Yeah, they're for sure. Princess Peach's castle can never catch a break in any game ever. But then these ribbons come down from the sky. They wrap around the castle, and I'm guessing that's just gonna turn the castle into, or everyone who's in it, maybe into like origami people. But then we have the Shy Guy in the clown car who comes down, and then we have Mario, and then the origami assist character who's named Olivia, which I'm assuming might be the sister of King Ollie, maybe.
Yeah,
Who
that
knows?
makes sense.
And then we have rectangular folded Bowser running along with Mario and Olivia, and they're escaping the castle on the roof, and they jump into the clown car with the Shy Guy, and they fly away. And then that's that. So that's a really insanely good like opening cutscene for this game,
Cinematics are incredible.
right? Like, so I'm really happy that they've been like practicing with that. Like, it's insane how much work they put into this just in the opening sequence. But then let's see, we cut. There looks like in general with this game, what we've seen throughout this whole trailer, there's a bigger emphasis on like open world exploration in areas. It looks like. Like the forest is huge with vast backgrounds. Not only do we can openly walk around the Toad Town area, there's also like a whole open world space where you're like in a car that you can drive around in. It looks very, very open. So I'm looking forward to seeing
there's
what
also
happens.
like the sea area. Like,
Yeah,
you
and then
see
you
you're
have
on
like
a boat.
yeah.
And, like, yeah, you're floating all around.
Mhm.
I'm
Seems to be like a marriage of what they've done with the classic Paper Marios as well as the more recent ones. Because the recent ones had like a world map system that wasn't
Yeah.
super popular. I think this is a good blend of those things. Like, it feels like an interconnected world now. At least I hope it does.
As far as like the world map thing goes, like you said, there's a shot in the trailer where there's like 6 different pipes where it all have numbers on them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And they're all different colors. I'm guessing that this might be like a world transportation system thing. Like, you go to
yeah,
this
I mean,
place,
they had
yeah.
something like this in Thousand Year Door, where
And the original.
when you were where you're in the sewer and there's a bunch of pipes that lead
that
to
fast
previous
travel
worlds.
to different areas, yeah.
But then obviously you had to unlock them over time. But yeah, that seems like something that would be they'd include in this game as well.
So another thing to note, like you see these holes in the ground in this forest shot,
Mm-hmm.
and then later on, I think you see a Goomba taking a bite
Yeah, like
out
the
of like
big
a house.
papercraft Goomba thing. Yeah,
Yeah, so
or
it
the
seems
paper
like the
mache Goomba.
origami people are like feeding on the environment.
It's kind of like with Color Splash, how the Shy Guys were
Yeah,
sucking up color through straws. Now
yeah.
we just have the paper crafts eating the world and just doing that. So interesting. I love how they're just sticking with like the whole paper aspect. I'm wondering how many more games we can get that can go into paper, because it seems like originally, like what Logie was talking about earlier, how people wanted like a more digital 2D art style than straight up paper, because I guess there's only so much that they could really get away with a paper theme with this heavy of an art style. So I guess they're just trying to run this theme into the ground before they decide to remaster One in Thousand Year Door, maybe, because
It's honestly surprising like that it took
mhm.
so long to get to origami because origami's like the no-brainer one,
In
right?
Thousand Year Door, Mario was folding himself into a paper plane and all sorts of stuff before. So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad they're leaning into this because I
Hmm.
think it works a lot better than like just stickers and cards do.
Yeah.
It feels more organic to me.
Hmm. Let's see. Let's see. So yeah, we have Prince. Yeah, we have Olivia. Not specified a princess, but yeah, we have Olivia. She's the partner, pro tag assist character. We have a couple shots of like some windy, tall grass valleys. You're in look like a ski lift, and then you're talking to a character who says his name is Babam, and then everyone flips out because that is, I guess, an insinuation that we're gonna have quote unquote partner-ish characters. I'm not gonna say they're straight up partners because one, like a lot of people have been saying, with the recent Paper Mario games, we've been getting a lot of really base level designs with characters. We haven't had like Koops from like Paper Mario, or Cooper from Paper Mario 1,
Mhm.
Goombella, Bobbery, Watt, Bouette, and stuff like that. Like all those different character designs. I don't even know if they can pull those designs off in this Super Paper style and get away with it. But like they're just like, yeah, we're just gonna have a regular Bob-omb, and I guess the only difference is he doesn't have a wick and his key looks a little different. But he's just talking to you, so I'm assuming he's just gonna be a partner character along for the ride. Because in the next shot, you looks like you're on a boat going down a waterfall, and that Bomb is there with you, along with the Origami partner character and another Toad. And then you also have Bowser Jr. hanging out with Mario and Kamek, I think that is. So somehow Bowser Jr. is gonna end up on your party too. So
I think the plot that they're going for here is like a war between the paper creatures and the origami
hmm
creatures,
yeah.
and it seems like Princess Peach and the citizens of the Mushroom Kingdom have all been assimilated into the origami, and Bowser and his minions
Team
are
up with
like
Mario.
are teaming up with Mario to fight back.
Hmm.
So all of your partners, and I shared some images with you guys real quick. All of your partners are going to be classic, just straight up Mario minions.
Yeah.
So
Oh
we
yeah,
got
we
like
have
Hammer Bro,
Cam-
Koopa, Spike,
Spike.
Magic Koopa.
and then Bowser
Um,
himself, but folded up into paper. Yeah.
yeah, so while the characters themselves aren't like thematic or like super original like they are in Paper Mario and Thousand Year Door,
Hmm.
I think like the way that they've built up this plot, this actually makes sense.
Yeah. It's a step in the right direction for sure.
Yeah, I think so. I think this is still kind of a point of contention for me, and I've kind of gone back and forth playing like devil's advocate, with myself, trying to like justify why they didn't choose to have more like original or like zany character designs and such.
Hmm.
Um, and I guess I'll say this: I don't necessarily mind that there isn't all the zany characters like in Thousand Year Door and such. Um, and I also don't think it's a requirement for this game to have personality. Brandon, we've talked about Color Splash, and you've played you've played that game. I really haven't, and most of my experience has kind of been like through you. And I think you make a good point about like, that game still had a lot of personality, even though it was kind of generic in other ways.
Yeah, like
And
even
I
in
feel,
the sorry.
yeah, I was gonna say that like even though most of the designs are like, oh, it's just a toad or it's just a bob-omb or whatever, there's a lot of other things happening here that I feel like make up for that.
Mm-hmm.
Even with just the battle system, which again, that's another point of contention. I don't know exactly how I'm going to like that eventually, but as it is now, I can say that like this battle system looks infinitely more interesting than whatever they were doing with the last two games.
Yes.
Like, I
Yeah.
feel like the last two games, they were like, hey, let's have like a turn-based battle system that like is like but a shell of the battle system in Thousand Year Door, instead of actually doing something different. And this looks different, right? This looks like they actually thought about like how they were going to go about this.
I've been looking at this pretty closely, and I've come to some realizations about what's going on with the battle system here. And that is that they are marrying the original battle system from Paper Mario and Thousand Year Door with the new battle system from the previous two games.
Mm-hmm.
So, like the item-based battles are gone. You have a jump and you have a hammer. You might be able to equip like better boots and better hammers based on some other screenshots I've seen.
Yeah.
But you're not like building a deck of these things and they expire after you use them.
Mm-hmm.
And then the parts that they keep from the newer games are the fact that you can attack enemies in a row, and that's why they built out this ring system, which I think is really neat.
This looks really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it really like it makes me think that this is going to be a more strategic battle system instead of, obviously in the last few games, like, oh, I have these cards or these stickers that I have to spend, to attack. And that always seemed kind of obtuse and awkward. But again, like, any listeners and you guys can judge me on the fact that I really haven't played either of those games because I just wasn't interested in playing them, right? Whereas that is very much not the case with this game. I am very, very interested in playing this, even if it doesn't end up being like as beloved as Thousand Year Door. Like, even if it's like on the level of Super Paper Mario. Like, I loved Super Paper Mario. It might not be the ideal for the Paper Mario crowds. For example, I was there's a Facebook group called Paper Mario Hell. And man, it was hell this morning. And subsequently I left the group because I just couldn't handle it anymore. I'm like, this is like, none of this is
on the
productive.
website for the game. They actually say that it's the battle system is going to be a ring-based battle system, which a lot of people have been also calling it the turn-based battle system, which is actually, I like that a lot better. But it says
it's turn-based, but it's also turn.
They say it's going to be a battle system that requires both puzzle-solving skills and quick wit. So, also on a couple of screenshots that I saw, it looks like there's going to be a way to... It looks like it might be like an actively moving battle system where like the characters...
Yeah, there's a timer.
Yeah, so like the enemies are probably going to be moving in from the outer ring and moving in closer to Mario, so then you're going to have to probably line them up so you can get more combos going, where it's like you maybe do more damage the more enemies you hit in a row, jumping off of them, comboing off of them. Or maybe he'll get like a hammer move where he can do like a shockwave that'll maybe hit everyone around him. There's also a couple screenshots like the one Brandon shared that looks like the Toad that has like the archaeologist uniform. He's there on the main circle with Mario, so maybe the partner characters don't actually attack, but maybe they give Mario buffs in battle. So that'll be really interesting to see.
There's an option on the battle screen called Cheer. And I think that might be what the partners are going to be doing mostly. So I think you're right. I think they're going to give Mario some kind of buff or ability before he takes his turn.
Yeah.
Can we stop for a second and just acknowledge that there's an audience again?
Yes, I love it.
Yes.
I love it so much. It looks like instead of it being like a stage where it's 2D, since it's like an open circular arena, it's more like one of those old school gladiator arenas where the whole
Or
action's
even a
happening in the middle.
circus.
Yeah, like that. And then there's like just bleachers, and all the toads and other NPCs are sitting in there, and they have their own little dialogue boxes, and they're just cheering on or having their own little banter in the background. Like I saw somebody said, "I'm gonna close my eyes. I don't want to see this," or they were like,
I
"Oh,
was
I missed it. What happened?" And like stuff
I
like
was
that.
actually thinking it reminded me of like a sumo ring,
Hmm.
you know? Like
Yeah, that
that's
too.
so I mean they're really obviously Nintendo's a Japanese company.
Hmm.
There you got the origami going on. It's just everything about this aesthetically I kind of love.
Yeah.
You know?
And
And
even
even,
with the-
okay,
yeah.
even jumping back to the whole like generic thing, I mean, I feel like everything's so much less generic because like for every like version of an enemy, there's also like an origami version.
Yeah, that's gonna be really interesting. Yeah. Or even like
And
the paper mache versions too, that look like huge.
Mm-hmm.
and like we say generic, but we really only mean that from a physical visual perspective, because
Yeah.
like
Because the
the
writing's still funny
dialogue
as
and
hell.
writing,
Best
yeah,
writing in any Nintendo property so far. Yes, it's really good.
the writing and dialogue in Color Splash
It's
was the
comedic.
best writing in the whole series.
Hmm.
And it's still not like the
emphasis.
Paper Mario game I want.
Yeah, they even like in the actual description of the game, they say a comedy adventure. So they're just
That's
like,
exactly
yeah, we're
what I
gonna go
want.
crazy. We're gonna go crazy with this. Let's see. And then also, just last thing on the battles, the boss battles are gonna probably be very interesting because, for example, in Thousand Year Door, when you're fighting regular enemies, it's just a regular battle on a stage. But when you're fighting bosses, like the first boss you fight is a dragon, he takes up a whole half of the stage, and his tail is like leaking into the audience. So like if we were to fight like some huge thing, maybe they're looming over the circle, or they're just like attacking from multiple angles, or maybe they're gonna do some fourth wall thing where like the boss you're fighting is in the circle, and then their minions are throwing stuff at you from the stands, like that's happened before. So they could get really
Cool.
silly with this battle system. So I'm actually looking forward to seeing what they do.
I already have more confidence in the boss battles in this game just because like the item based battle system and the things
Mhm.
appear to be gone. Because in Sticker Star and Color Splash, the
Yeah.
boss battles were reduced to just find the right thing and then use it and you'll
Mhm.
win.
Yeah.
I hated that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hopefully that that gimmick is gone. But it looks like we have a new one where Mario now has arms, like arms, like whoa arms, like they call it the
Like, whoa!
Before I was like, wait a minute. Okay, no, there's
they call it
yeah.
the 1,000 fold arms ability. So that's cool. It looks like standing on certain context sensitive spaces on the ground will make Mario's arms become origami shaped, and he'll just have super stretchy arms so he can pull things from the environment that have perforated edges. He'll probably be able to like break through walls and stuff like that. Maybe reach certain things that he couldn't otherwise.
I'm also
Um,
curious as to how like this functions because there's a screenshot here where you have Mario's new arms
mhm.
that are like pulling back like some perforated like
Yeah.
part of a building and you see there is a prompt for pull, you know, for the
Mhm.
Joy-Cons. So I wonder how much of that is going to be like kind of shoehorned in with like motion controls
Yeah.
or if that's like
They used
work
this
like that.
exact same kind of idea in Color Splash, where you would have to drop the game to the gamepad screen, and then draw on perforated lines to cut things out.
Oh.
Mhm.
Okay.
So like this is almost exactly the same thing, just with a
Just
different.
better. Just
Yeah.
not as obnoxious with
I just
the
hope it
gimmicks,
goes
yeah.
farther than that, because if it doesn't, it just feels like a recycled idea from Color
Mhm.
Splash.
I'm wondering if, because they say new abilities, and this is only one thing, so I'm wondering if they're
Yeah.
gonna have more origami-based abilities, like how they did, for example, in Thousand Year Door, where he could like fold into a paper airplane or roll up into a ball of roll up into his paper form and go through cracks in the wall and like other stuff like that. So I'm pretty
Where's
sure.
the 1,000 leg fold technique?
Exactly. So he's gonna get a whole bunch of stuff like that. Maybe his hat might told into an origami form, or maybe Mario himself might become like an origami papercraft thing, and he'll be able to fight that way. I don't know. It's gonna
Oh
be a
man, I
very
would not be
interesting thing.
surprised if there's like a segment of this game where Mario turns into origami and you have to like
Unfold
either
him?
yeah, like something like in Thousand Year Door there was
When he lost his shadow
Twilight
thing?
Town. Yeah, where
Yeah.
he kind of
Yeah.
trades places with Dupless.
Dupless.
Hashtag spoiler for those who haven't gotten to that part of the game. Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if they try to play with that as well.
Mm-hmm. This game, I'm just looking at these screenshots, man. This game looks visually stunning. I love it so much. But this game, it looks like it's gonna have like a whole bunch of like dark undertones buried underneath. Because there's like this one scene in the trailer where it looks like Mario is dancing with toads with no faces, like literally just the bodies of toads, but their faces are cut out. Who knows what the heck that's about? There's also this one scene where you're like inside of a Japanese temple and there's like a thwomp with like geisha painting on his face, and then there's like those ninja dudes are on the ceiling. They probably ambush you. There's a lot going on. There's like a freaking string thing that you're probably gonna have to fight or something. I don't know where this comes into the whole origami thing. You're gonna be on Bowser's airship or Bowser Jr.'s airship, and then you're getting attacked by origami paper planes. You're in like sand, and then like an origami turtle thing comes out of the sand. This game is going to be pretty wild. And then also the last shot that they did in the trailer before the other thing was, it looks like Bowser has a plan, and then he looks like he's showing Mario something. I'm guessing it might be similar to what Brandon was saying earlier, where a castle comes out of the ground, and Bowser's just like, "Look what I did," and Mario's just like, "Oh God, you did it again."
Oh
So,
man,
mhm.
Okay, so I was thinking about this.
Mm-hmm.
When I think the streamers, by the way, I believe they're called the Sinister streamers. They like enwrap the entirety of Peach's castle.
Mm-hmm.
So you mentioned that it's probably gonna origamify like every person who's inside of it,
Mm-hmm.
but I think it's also gonna do that to the castle.
I was gonna say that, but then also like her castle already looks kind of paper crafty already, so I was like, how could it look more origami like than that?
But the reason I say that is because this shot is very clearly like behind Bowser's castle,
Mm-hmm.
and it looks like it's building itself. So I feel like we're gonna be fighting castles with castles.
That'd be cool too. It'd be like we probably get like a Bowser's Inside Story situation where you're like fighting two mega things versus another thing.
Oh please, I love those
That'd be
fights so
dope.
much.
And then we got the release date, which is July 17th, which, holy crap, 2 months? What? You've been cooking this.
I have a
That's very
feeling we were
soon.
supposed to get this game revealed like last month.
Some people are
in a
saying
real
this,
direct.
yeah, it might have been in a direct. So they might,
Yeah.
Nintendo might actually start just slowly trickling out really cool trailers over the course of the next couple months or weeks,
Yeah, just kind of like, as needed, because
Mhm.
I think that's kind of like
just to keep the relevancy going.
well,
This
and
would have
then
also been
I-
like a banger of an E3 announcement.
It would have,
yeah. I think more so it's just, with the volatility of, the current state of the world, like they just don't know. They don't
Mhm.
know when things are going to be finished. So probably having to change like their reveals / release, to kind of like adjust for that.
hmm
So we might get things at a little slower of a pace, just so people kind of have things that they have to do and whatever it may be. And so I think this is kind of playing into that.
hmm
That being said, like, this is Nintendo. This is something that they have done where it's like, okay, we're going to actually have this finished game. We're going to announce it, and then it's going to release pretty shortly afterwards.
Yeah.
And I do appreciate that, though it is kind of throwing me off because I have been kind of so set in that Xenoblade Definitive Edition is like the only thing in the near future that I'm going to have to deal with, right? I'm going to have to finish all these other games before May 29th, and then May 29th I'll get Xenoblade Chronicles and then play through that, and fine. Great. Fantastic. And now I'm like, oh, great.
Now you have a game to play right after you're done with that. You can take the whole month. Right. You can play Clubhouse games.
That's if my ADHD allows me to actually make the progress in some of these games that I want. You know?
But nice though to have like 3 months of Nintendo games that we know are coming out.
Yeah.
It is nice to have something more than just a remaster of a game, you know, that released in like 2011.
Oh, there's also this post like release date shot.
Oh yeah, with the paper mache Samus Aran helmet, and then Mario was just doing a back and forth like impression of Samus with the little sound effects, and then there's like
Donkey
in the corner
Kong's
the
up to
Donkey
the
Kong
side.
head. I don't know what those. I don't know if there's anything in the top right, like on the shelf. I don't know if those are anything. I couldn't tell.
I just love that they're like paper lanterns.
Yeah.
Like I love the like each of the like aesthetics that they've chosen are kind of like different ways of using paper, right? Again, like at first we just had, oh, here's paper. Okay, now we got origami. It's a different style. And then you got paper lanterns. So I don't know what else there would be, you know, maybe there's some like other paper mache stuff, or like there's so much that they could play with the you know, the paper theme, that they're just leaning into this game that, you know, they've always leaned in to the paper stuff. Like there was always peeling back of like certain portions of the screen and such, but it's nice to see that they just kind of keep going deeper.
Yeah.
And I think that's the real personality here with the paper Mario, you know, and I think people are really missing that and just kind of getting hung up on the fact that like Thousand Year Door, it's not Thousand Year Door, or it's apparently too much like Sticker Star, yada yada yada, whatever.
I know, like I've been seeing people joking that since we were supposed to get an ARMS character reveal in June, people are like, "Oh, what if Paper Mario is low-key the ARMS character? You just give him his thousand-fold arms as an ARMS thing." That'd be silly. That'd be silly.
The title card did say that this character has stretchy arms. You know,
yeah.
This is.
Then they patch
this
Paper
is exactly
Mario
that.
into arms. But yeah, this game is going to be one of the highlight games of the summer. Like we said, Nintendo has only just shown this after Xenoblade, other than in June. I don't think there's anything other than Clubhouse games and Ninjala. So we don't have a game for June, and then this is July. So we still there's a whole bunch of space
Smash
in there.
DLC.
Oh yeah, and then we have June. We have the Smash stuff. But other than that, we don't have any other main titles dropping yet. So Nintendo might keep just randomly dropping things early as hell in the morning. Then we're all gonna freak out, and they're gonna be on the buzz for a while. So I don't know. You guys
There's
think
an
that's a
important
good
thing to note about this whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, Paper Mario was one of the things that was rumored together with Mario's 35th anniversary plans.
Yeah.
And here it is.
Soon.
So I think this lends credence to that.
Next thing might be another Mario
this whole this whole 35th anniversary for Mario is really just getting kicked off, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I think so. Well, I mean, look at the Super Mario Maker 2 DLC. Like, the whole world map function is like a big deal. So they can tie all of this together into one little like Year of Luigi type deal for the 35th anniversary.
Yeah, well,
and I think they will.
This is gonna be the beginning of more hype things to come for Nintendo for 2020. But yeah, I think that's all we can touch on right now as far as Paper Mario: The Origami King goes. Thank you so much for joining the discussion, Brandon and Logan from the Break Room Arcade. Give me a solid and plug yourselves really quick for people who don't know who you guys are.
So, we run a Nintendo-focused podcast called Nintendo Stuff over at Break Room Arcade on YouTube. You can also find us over on Twitter. I'm at BabbittBabs, Logan's at LoggyDubs. You can also find the third member, Paul, at Gunnysaurus. You can also follow us as a collective at Break Room Arcade.
Awesome. And yeah, thank you so much for listening, guys. And we will catch you on the next video. Bye.
See ya.
Later.